right. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to talk to you today and get to know you a little bit. Let's go ahead and start with Christie Sowby. I will let you, you're the teacher, obviously, the piano teacher, and also a winner of one of the divisions of the Piano Marvel YouTube competition, which was the Adult Division. Really cool. You entered quite a few pieces into the competition. We loved watching your videos. You and your husband performed in a couple of ensembles. That was fun. And then you girls entered into the ensemble together, and we're excited to have you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your experience with this competition. So Christy, we'll let you start.
All right, my name is Christie Sowby, and I teach these beautiful girls. We are from American Fork. Well, I live in American Fork, Utah, and we'll go that far. Let's have Roxy introduce herself, maybe where she lives and her age.
All right, my name is Roxy Lewis. I am 15 years old and I'm from Saratoga Springs.
Okay.
Yeah. My name is Anna Morgan. I'm from Sandy and I'm 16.
And this is all in Utah. These are cities in Utah.
Yeah, but they drive for their lessons, don't they? Yeah. Okay.
I'm Charity Hung, and we live in American Fork, and we're 15.
And I'm Hope Hung.
Great. It's so nice to meet you. And you are twins. You're identical twins, Hope and Charity. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's so nice to meet you all. We're really excited to hear what you thought about the Piano Marvel YouTube competition, but I have a couple of other questions for you as well. First of all, I would like to know what got you interested in playing the piano. You can kind of take turns answering this question. Let's start with you, Charity.
So growing up, my mom always played classical music in the car. And so I just wanted to be able to play that. So we had a digital piano, and we still have it now, but we got more pianos. So I would just try to replicate some of the songs. The first one I tried to play was For Elise.
That's neat. That's not an easy song for a beginner. Cool. Okay, Hope.
For me, at first, I just was kind of interested in playing the piano, so we got lessons. And then shortly after that, I kind of didn't want to play anymore, but I just stuck with it. So, yeah.
That's good. Are you glad you stuck with it?
Yeah.
I started piano when I was 7, so it's been over 25 years. And I just couldn't wait to get to the piano, and I still feel that way. It's just a love relationship, and I have 3 degrees in piano performance, and I just love performing when I can and teaching, and hopefully instill a love of music in these students. That's always my goal, and to make them the best that they can, no matter what they're doing, being a high performer, not just in piano, but in life.
I love that. That's awesome. All right, Roxy, you want to go next?
Sure. I have always loved music. I've had a natural inclination towards it. But then both of my older siblings played piano. For a while, my older brother stopped fairly young, but my sister still plays. And I just listened to them all the time growing up. And I always wanted to be like them, as little siblings do. And so I just loved playing piano. And that's kind of what got me started.
That's great. All right, Anna.
I'm similar to Roxy. My mom was the kind of instigator of music and piano. So I started when I was around 5, and I've got 5 other siblings. So it's been kind of cool to watch us all grow up learning piano as well as some other string instruments. So I really just enjoy being able to create music and have that sense of joy with my family.
That's great. Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit of your personal feelings about music and where it comes from and why you play the piano. How long have each of you been playing?
So we have been playing since we were 5. So it's been about 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, that's awesome. Very good.
I started formal lessons when I was 12. but I've been playing practically my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was about 5 as well, so probably 11 years.
Okay. That's great. So you all have some good time under your belt, I guess, for playing the piano. That's great. Thanks for sharing. So I want to know, how did you choose Don't Stop Believing for your ensemble?
Well, usually I'll answer that because I think they'd all say the same thing. I actually picked it out for them. We like to do ensembles every fall, and so we start prepping for it mid to late summer. And I try to find things that are equal for all of the pianists so they can enjoy their parts instead of just someone being stuck on the bass part doing a repeated note over and over. But maybe you could ask them how they felt while they were playing Don't Stop Believing, or what we did to kind of become more familiar, because they didn't grow up listening to that music. I didn't grow up listening to that music, but it's older than our generation, but we've all learned to love it, I think. So maybe you can answer that question.
I think that's a great question. How did you like it, girls? Did you learn about it too? Did you learn the background behind the song and why it was written, or did you just learn the piece and like it because of how it sounds? What did you get out of it?
So we all heard like a recording of how it sounded first, and then I think we all liked it. So
yeah, to me it's very inspirational, especially if you know the lyrics. If you're singing the lyrics in your head as you hear the music, it's a very inspirational piece, and you played it with energy and excitement, and you played so well together. I was just really impressed. I didn't hear any mistakes, and I know that there may have been some mistakes because usually it's hard to get through an ensemble with 4 people without any mistakes, but you played it so well. If you did have mistakes, I think you covered them really well.
They practiced enough that they really could play it perfectly many times.
Yeah, that's true. You have to play it by yourself perfectly many times, right? And then together many times. Well, it was a great performance. We loved watching it. I think it was not a hard choice for you to be, chosen as one of the 3 finalists. And then I think it was just hands down, you guys definitely won the ensemble portion of the challenge. Or the competition. And I think you guys were definitely a good choice for that. Christy, we want to know a little bit about how you chose your pieces, because you played several pieces, and obviously you won in the adult category. Just tell us a little bit about how you do that, how you choose a piece to enter it into a competition.
I am always listening to music, like whether I go to concerts, and like Charity said, growing up, I would listen to classical music. I would go to the library and check out every single classical music CD multiple times. And so I know my repertoire, and 3 of the girls play violin, and I played viola growing up. So I also know the orchestral repertoire quite a bit. And so like one of the pieces was for violin initially and piano, the Estrita by Ponce. But my husband, he plays the marimba. I don't know if you can see it behind us.
Yeah, I saw it when you were standing.
Yeah, so we adapted it instead of violin and piano for marimba and piano. The marimba fits the violin beautifully. So I'm always listening for specifically violin and piano arrangements. And then I present it to my husband and say, hey, would you be willing to try this out? And most of the time he's like, yeah, let's do this. He's not a full-time musician, he's an engineer. But I love being married to someone that I can play with and express those feelings with. It's like one of the best things you can do, ladies, is marry someone that is passionate about music and to support what you do. So listening and researching, knowing the repertoire helped me with that. And then we also did Rewrite the Stars, and that was Rob's arrangement, actually. We listened to the piano guy's arrangement, and then Rob, he plays all by ear, and he can read music, but he made that arrangement, and then I just added some things that I like from the piano guys, and I like to improvise off of Rob, and that's how we got Rewrite the Stars, and that's a famous song from The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, I love that song. That was one of my favorite performances in the whole competition. So.
Thank you. And then we also, I did Muczynski, and I just love Muczynski. He has high energy, and they're just short little pieces, so they're easy to learn, and I teach my students those all the time. So it's good to be able to play what your own students are playing. So that's just one example of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I want to know, how many students did you have participating in this challenge or competition?
I would say I keep a pretty small studio. I have a special needs daughter, and so she takes up a lot of my focus and my time. So I have about 10 or 11 students, and I would say the majority of them entered. And at one point we did do Piano Marvel, like the software, when they were learning the music. And I know like we could bring it back into the studio and they could work on their reading skills, despite their very high reading skills right now. Piano Marvel is awesome that way. And so I think that's something we could definitely explore.
Awesome. That's good. Yeah, there's a lot of really hard pieces that you can learn in Piano Marvel in little pieces. The way that you would, obviously ask your students to play just segments until they know it, right, before they move on. And that's what you can do with Piano Marvel. So that's really cool. Just out of curiosity, what other things do you guys like to do in your life besides play the piano? I heard that three of you play the violin. What else do you do?
I play the violin as well, and that's really fun for me. My siblings play violin and cello, so we play together a lot. And I also am in the choir at my school, and I just really find enjoyment from singing and sharing. That it's more of a group effort, and I really enjoy just all the musical arts.
Along with piano, I enjoy reading and writing stories. I enjoy art and really just spending time with friends and family.
I enjoy drawing and also making desserts.
Making desserts. Ooh, that's awesome. I like that one too.
I've been a beneficiary of their desserts before, their boba drinks. It's delicious.
That's great.
We play violin, and I enjoy orchestra quite a bit. I think it's really fun. And then we also have like these family gatherings. They're like not biologically related, but our parents are all from Taiwan, so we just get together and we dance.
Oh, that's awesome. It's very evident that you're all very artistic and drawn toward not just music, but drawing and other forms of art. So that's really neat.
I think one other thing that we've done together as a studio, outside of the studio, is go to concerts together. Like we went and saw the Five Browns last fall, or I will have extra Utah Symphony tickets, and I'll say, hey, who wants this? I know I've gone to the symphony multiple times with several of these girls and with their parents. It's just good for them to experience what the symphony is, and we point out the instruments, and because I do test them in theory and ear training, what does an oboe sound like versus a clarinet? And so even though they're string players and percussion with the piano, I like that they know all their instruments and that we get to have outings musically as well. That's great. You sound like a very well-rounded teacher who really helps them to excel in lots of areas, and that's great. We love to see that. It was so fun to have you guys participate, and you did such a great job. Thank you for sharing your talents and your abilities with us. Thank you for inspiring others, because when people watch you perform and do something that looks a little bit scary and they see that you can do it, that you did a good job, I think it inspires them to want to try. And so I appreciate your efforts, and Christie for the teacher that you are, the inspiration that you give these girls, and just for everything that you contribute to the music education industry and piano teaching industry. So thank you. Thank you. And we couldn't do it without Piano Marvel making it possible. So thank you so much for providing this opportunity. Absolutely. Well, we would not be around if it wasn't for you guys. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Have a great day and a great evening.